I write it, I drop it, they listen, they bought it. The battle, I fought it, the challenge, they watch it. The hard path, I ran it, the struggles I managed. I never did plan it, we got here, we jamming. Like, if you came along, baby, let me see your hands. If you wanna fall in love, let me see your hands. If you having fun, baby, let me see your hands. In fact, that's not enough. Hey, let me see you stand up.
Hey guys, welcome back. Sin City Fantasy in your house, in my basement.
Yes.
Jaryd's here, as always,
Again.
at Sin City Fantasy on Discord, at Sin City Fantasy on, where are we at? We're at Instagram, I think it is. But really,
A lot of it.
yeah, we're on there, but we don't
Sleeper
get to
app.
it. Easiest way to get to
Discord Sleeper, primarily.
Easiest way to get to us, yeah. On Sleeper, you can get me at Sin City Fantasy. But just comment on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Easy as that. Hey, make sure, never miss an episode. Check the bell. You know, like and subscribe. It helps out, but comments are awesome. We don't back down from them. I mean, love good back and forth, love good conversations. It's happened plenty of times.
comments.
Yeah. So again, thanks for tuning in. Today we are jumping right in to the running back rankings. As you know, we've had a lot of changes. Akers out. We're going to talk a little bit about that, where we're going to place Daryl Henderson. Unfortunately, a couple other here and there, but we're going to go over some news real quick. And this news will actually apply to what we're talking about in the rankings. So if you guys, again, if you're watching right now and you want to comment, I got the board up. I can watch it. We're doing everything right here. First news of the day. Michael Thomas supposed to miss 12 to 16 weeks after surgery. How does this affect, how does this affect your drafting of him, but also your drafting of Kamara?
I mean, if you're one of those guys that likes to wait on players, superstars late, and pick them up, bench them for 8 to 9 weeks, is that about how long I said?
Well, what I'm looking at is they got a bye week of 6, I think.
Yeah.
I think there's bye week 6. I think he should be, and I could be wrong, but bye week 6 should be coming back maybe week 7 if
Maybe
the
week
report
7,
is
8.
correct.
Yeah, and then timing. So he's himself by what, week 9, 10?
Week 8, 9. Right now, what you're looking at is they said after surgery. So take that into account because the surgery was actually in June. I don't know the exact date of the surgery, so I can't remember. It might have been mid to late June.
Yeah.
So so again, I'm looking at, you're not going to get him until after the break, the bye week for them. So I'm probably looking at getting him. If I got him, I have to have a full team because I can't.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you definitely got to be stacked at wide receiver. So if you're one of the guys that likes to go wide receiver early, maybe stash him up. I mean, for me, he was one of my dark horses going into the season. We haven't really gotten into wide receivers yet, but it sucks.
Yeah, we'll get there.
It really hurts.
Right now, I've been looking at him right around the 6th round.
Yep.
Okay, so 6th round, if I can get him, I'll take him. That means I got a couple running backs, hopefully either my tight end or in a couple running backs, and that's all that matters at that point. So I got actual players that I can play for the first 6 to 7 to 8 weeks, and then slide him in there. I mean, we've done this before.
If he comes back and ready to go and he actually produces like Michael Thomas, and the quarterback situation should be solved by then. If Winston is the quarterback, then shit. You got a possible barn burner there.
Yeah, I mean, one thing we're going to talk about here in just a second is the targets that Kamara gets when Thomas is gone.
For my personal rankings, he's up there with CMC now.
Yeah, and that's where we're at. On even bigger news, Aaron Rodgers has stated that he wants a $90 million guarantee over 2 years. So play 2 years, guaranteed $45 million
That's
a
called
year.
giving him the hook right there.
He was told, or at least he's been saying, that money isn't why he's out. No, obviously now it's money.
It's not money now. Now it's personal. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's a little personal, and you see
Make
that.
them give what's most valuable to them to him.
Yeah, Devontae Adams is even. Devontae Adams.
He's got.
is even talking about maybe I won't re-sign.
We just move Aaron Jones up in our list now because that's the only guy they got left now. Him and Dylan.
Yeah.
Shit.
So.
Equanimous St. Brown, or he go to Detroit.
Yeah, he was.
They're all gone.
Bad timing, buddy.
The
Bad
lizard
timing.
guy, Lazard.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so recap.
One more guy.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson says he will report.
I told you he would.
He will report.
He come back. He come back with all those mediocre receivers. They're all there. All 3 mediocre running backs. He come back.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, I gotta say one thing. I ran into one of our fans at Dick's Sporting Goods, by the way.
I
Dick's
saw
Sporting
who it
Goods.
was. I'm sure I figured out. on Monday.
Again, thanks for listening, guys. It means a lot to us. This is probably the second time in the Cincinnati area that I've been kind of ogled, and then all of a sudden they come up to me and they just say, "Hey, I know you," and I'm
Bigger.
like, "Yeah." I'm like, but hey, if you do see me out in public, I'm more than happy to say, "Hey, we can talk football for a little bit." That's fine. It was really
Who's
cool.
football?
It was really neat to, again, my daughter was with me, and she's just like, "Dad, that guy recognized you from the show." And
What the heck?
and then later on, I was just like, "Well, it was kind of Jared's buddy, so did it really count? I don't know." But it definitely
Someone you didn't know before.
definitely a
Yep.
cool guy who's came up, said hey. So, but he did say one thing.
What?
He said, "I really love your content," and I just
Yours?
well, our content.
Oh.
Sorry. So
No,
when it comes
definitely
to
not mine.
the
If you
show's
knew me-
content, and I just go, man, that's almost like telling a girl she has a good personality.
Your content is not,
It's like shit.
not what you say.
Yeah. Again, we're here for the running back rankings. I know you're here for that, and we are going to get into them. And I promise you, it's going to be a little different today. Jared's got some new information that has changed his mind on certain people. Obviously, the new news about Akers, the new news about Michael Thomas that has changed a couple things. So again, you gotta stay. What they say is you gotta stay water. You gotta be fluid when you do your rankings. It has to change. We cannot do rankings in July and expect them to be the exact same all the way up until preseason week 3.
That's when we do our draft.
All right, here we go, getting it in. We got Jaryd on the screen. He said, "Do not do any close-ups on today." I got one close-up. We'll put it in. The starting one.
For me, yeah, I mean, a lot of people are going to say CMC, but with that deteriorating offensive line still, and then 21st rush attempts per game, with this added workload that possibly Winston, a quarterback,
Yeah.
Kamara to me is right up there with him now. So I might actually be targeting Kamara over CMC.
Yeah, if I can get Kamara
That's
after.
if obviously if you don't get 1 or 2, obviously CMC be gone. So but,
Yeah.
for
So
me,
CMC is still at the top.
Yeah.
2 years ago, running back 1, and PPR he got around 430 points. Is ridiculous. Blew everybody out
I mean,
of the
obviously if
water.
he does that, that's why for me he's still there. But
And Kamara last year was running back 1, but he only got like 350 points.
yeah,
So I mean,
it's
still.
that average. Yeah.
You're looking at CMC on a good year,
Mhm.
which he should have again with the with Samuel leaving and Davis leaving, he should be ripe and raring to go to take a lot of the targets.
That's really the question: is the workload going to outweigh the stats and the numbers? I think that the Saints have the highest ranked offensive line in football right now, and then they actually 6th in rush yards per game last year. So if that goes up at all now, since they're leading receivers out and they got question marks at quarterback, is that going to outweigh the sheer skill level of CMC this year and that deteriorating offensive line and Darnold?
Yeah, I was gonna say, really, honestly, it comes down to Darnold. All you have to
Yeah.
do is do a 15-yard pass off to the side to get CMC's
Is that
hands
his style?
near
Is that what he's going to do, though? We don't know. I mean,
No, it isn't his style.
or
but
is it the coach going to make him do it?
I would just make him do it.
It's all right. That's what we want him to do. But
All right, so next in line, we both decided after the news about Thomas, we got to move Kamara up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what put him in running back 1 numbers last year, is because Thomas was out.
almost the same situation.
Gets so many more targets, gets on average around 3 to 4 targets more a game with Thomas gone.
Yeah.
So, and they haven't picked up any wide receivers yet. Maybe the numbers will change if they pick up like a Dez Bryant, or I'm trying to think of the guys that are out there. There's a couple wide
I
receivers.
still don't see that total volume changing.
Yeah.
Just based on season long. So.
And then again, we also hope that Taysom Hill isn't the quarterback full time. It's mainly like a Winston, and then Hill kind of comes in.
He wasn't like a number 1 overall pick value when Taysom was, but I'm pretty confident they're going to swap.
Yeah, I mean, once we get into the preseason, we'll do our quarterback rankings because that's going to kind of show a lot more. Right now, I think we're going to stick with the running back rankings.
Yeah.
We'll get into the wide receiver rankings.
Maybe
so
we'll
guys,
get more
stay
information
tuned.
as that unfolds. So
Yeah.
We had Cook, I guess.
Cook
Yeah.
took 3rd. That's pretty simple, self-explanatory. Move on from there.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, we were at 4 with Derrick Henry. I think that's a good spot for him.
Not me, but I know I got some heat. It might have been the same guy that ran into you. I got some heat too.
Well,
But
again,
I got Zeke over Henry.
You got Zeke over Henry.
I think they provide similar floors. Obviously Henry has the superior floor, But to me, I target the upside, especially if I'm going this high. He's probably going to be my number one if I'm picking him. So
Yeah.
just that he's hungry. He's said on multiple times social media he's wanting to
Here's the
rebuttal
problem
from last year.
Here's the problem I'm going to have. So Hard Knocks is coming out soon, guys. And we know the hype around Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
And as soon as Hard Knocks comes out, that means Ezekiel Elliott is going to be in top 3. So
Yeah.
Dak Prescott will be in round 3, round 2. He'll be one of the top quarterbacks taken.
So again, you got to commit to him, and it's just where you get that. You know, if you do 10, most people do 10 man, we do 12. So
Yeah.
for me, I'm hardcore targeting him over Henry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next on the list, so at 6, we got Jonathan Taylor. We were good with that. Staying
Taylor
pat with
actually finished number 1 in my special formula rankings. So.
And I think that's what put him over Nick Chubb.
Yes.
So Nick Chubb next at 7. Great spot for Chubb. Here's where it got a little.
Offensive line there is just.
Here's where we might have a little bit of a change. Saquon Barkley at 8. We can
new
move
information on him though, right? Or not
new
really
information.
but
There is new
since our last
information.
video,
I was going to talk about it in the news in the very beginning, but I mean, everybody I've talked to, and I've talked to 3 people, so not many, but all of them said, get into the running back rankings quicker. Don't mess around. Don't fuck around. Just get into it. All right, so we're in it. Saquon Barkley is actually they say he's gonna begin the year on the PUP list. That does not bode well for him. And if you miss out on a couple weeks with your number 1 running back,
it's hefty.
I can't
it's always
do it.
hard. Yeah,
I can't do it.
Yeah, I know people did it. Didn't people do it last year with him too? And
no, Saquon was
who did
fine
do it with
last year.
and they weren't really rewarded. I'll have to look back.
We'll have to go watch a video. Except they're in private right now. So if you guys want to go back to last year and watch some videos, I put them all on private. The algorithm for YouTube is so much different this year.
It punishes you.
It really punishes us. So if you're watching the show, you actually got to watch it for a certain period of time. That's why we took so long to get into the running back rankings last week, and that's why I took down all the old shows. They just want to have your hot shows up top, and this is a hot show. Again, guys, we don't do this, I guess, by chalk. You know, we're not going to take, you know, the headliners rankings. We're not going to take the counselors rankings. I don't even know if he's doing it this year. We're not going to take Big Dog's Gotta Eat, so BDGE, Nick Ercolano. I love that guy. He's really fun to watch. And obviously the Big Dogs, fantasy footballers. You know, we're not going to take their rankings either. We're going to do our own, and you're going to get our real rankings. And they may be similar to theirs, but there's going to be some differences. And we'll tell you why. We're not just going to walk through them because, hey, they stat out this way last year. That doesn't matter anymore. How are they going to stat out this year? It matters. And that's the biggest thing right now. Saquon Barkley, we got to move him back. We have him at 8. I'm just going to move him back about 5, and we'll kind of work our way up.
Come back to him later.
Aaron Jones is next at 8.
That's fine. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like Aaron Jones there. He's a touchdown machine. And if Rodgers isn't going to be there, he does well without Rodgers. He's fine. And then if Adams, you know, I mean, I don't know how that's going to affect. He's going to play. Adams is going to play. He's not going to work on his new contract this year. It's going to be a running team.
I think a lot of that's talk before preseason too. But I mean, he's definitely Jones is definitely going to see an increase in workload this year. He wasn't strength of schedule though. Wasn't too hot, so be wary of that. I'm not saying he's gonna be a barn burner. I don't think he's
NFC North is never a great.
And then you have the threat of Dillon on the goal line, but I'm not real high on Jones. He deserves to be here just based on sheer workload. I think they actually had a high average rush yards per game.
Yeah, you're gonna get that. Like
8th.
I said, you're gonna get that with a lot of NFC.
And their offensive
North
line's not bad. I think they're a top 10 offensive line, but for me, he's not.
Speaking about another NFC North team, you talked to me before the show. You said we got to move him down, and I feel bad. And you're going to be the one that gives me the reason to move him down. But right now, David Montgomery sits at 9th. I'm okay with it. Why aren't you okay with it anymore?
So last year, his early season, everyone wasn't real high on him. Why? Because his schedule was actually pretty hard. And then toward the end of the season, they booked it out because they were booking against bottom 5 defenses in the league versus the run. I think that's pretty prominent. This year, they're pretty low, middle average strength of schedule. And offensive lines, I guess, and they still have a quarterback situation. So I'm not reaching for Montgomery. Where's he going now, ADP? He's
dropped down to right around the early 4th round since we talked about him.
All right, if you can get him 5th, 6th round, that's fine. As a running back, as your 3rd, maybe 4th running back, and you already have a prominent wide receiver. Ugh. That's what I have.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, I'm not. That's up to you, though.
Well,
I'm not real big on it.
if it's up to me, how do I put this? If I go running back, and I can get him in like the 5th round, and go wide receiver, and then running back and
4th,
get him
5th,
there.
Yeah.
I'll lock it down.
I would rather take a Carson. I'd rather take a Gibson. I'd rather take a CEH, even with the emergence of McKissick there.
So we got
McKinnon.
We got David Montgomery and Joe Mixon sitting at 9 and 10. Would you want to move Mixon up one spot? This would be the first time.
I'll take Mixon over Montgomery. Yeah.
This will be the first time Mixon makes it into the top 10. Not in our
sure.
rankings, but if he does end up 9th, it'll be his first time finishing in the top 10.
Not too hot rush yards per game last year for Cincinnati, but they threw 50 times a game. That's going to obviously go down with the recovering Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And then Burrow's efficiency will go up, so I don't see them needing that many pass attempts, thus more reliance on Mixon. And
I would say
I think that would go up to maybe even top 20.
Bernard's gone.
Bernard's gone even further, yeah.
P. Ryan, the guy behind him, isn't a
dare say
super
top
pass
17,
catching back.
If they break the top 17 in efficiency there, that's definitely spells top 10 for Mixon. And then I think middle average here. Yeah, and strength of schedule, so not too shabby.
Again, a lot
top
of those
10,
games, a lot of those games right there are going to be the the AFC North games. So you take all those out. So that means all the other games that aren't AFC North games are really easy.
The only other thing would be the offensive line. It's going to be really relying on returning players and fresh players and how they perform this year. So if that offensive line is 27th again, bottom half of 25 as they were last season, that could fail as well. So that's why Jones and Mixon are 9 and 10 for me. But we have higher upside guys that we'll target, later in the rounds, and that I'll talk about later when we get to them. But they deserve to be there just based on how much work they're going to get, and they're talented players.
All right, on to the next, and this might bump Montgomery down one more. Austin Eckler. I mean, we talked about him. This is a guy who can get 100 touches.
For me,
100 catches. He can get 1,000 yards, 100 catches.
He's got to finish the year. He's got to play. Shit. I trusted him last year in my league. When he came back and played, he was there. Strength of schedule, he's actually in the blue, so he's bottom 10, top 10. That bodes real well. A lot of the times the players that are blue or green end up doing really well.
Means go with him. Yeah, so we got Austin Eckler and then David Montgomery. Honestly, I'm kind of thinking I'd leave Montgomery.
Still that high? Nah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, they are an ascending offense, you could say.
Yeah.
And with Cohen being out, the work should go to him. So.
Yeah. The only thing I worry about is last year Ezekiel Elliott's numbers dropped when Dalton was in. If Dalton's in, that means Montgomery's
again, that's why. I mean, if
drop.
we could lower him again below Gibson, I would do that. I can tell you, I'm targeting Gibson above Montgomery.
All right, so we're gonna move Montgomery down just one more.
Okay.
And that's fine. And we'll get to. Might as well talk about it. You brought it up, Antonio Gibson. I mean, what brings him up to this level to be number 12?
Their offensive line is just savagely good.
Yeah.
And it's getting better. I think that's right now they're ranked 3rd in the NFL. They were 26 last year in total rush yards a game. They have Fitzpatrick coming in. People usually relate him with a gunslinger type. He will sling the ball, but he's getting up there in age, so I think that bodes well for Gibson. McKissick's still there, but McKissick isn't a fresh draft pick coming out, possibly workhorse. So I'm real high on Gibson. I drafted him last year. We're round 6 in a mock draft here live, and y'all made fun of me.
Oh, great! It was a great job.
It was great. I mean,
here's the thing. I told
you're
you
more
about
of
this.
the
I said his
I reach. I'm sorry.
is so high.
I guess
why not
the
get him
counselor
in the
rubs off on me
9th
there.
9th or 10th round?
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
And-
that's totally idealistic. Yeah. And in our keeper league, it probably would have paid off.
In my keeper league that I do, I got him in the 13th round.
See, there you go. That's excellent. Yeah,
And I got
probably
Justin
set forever
Jefferson.
now.
I got Justin Jefferson right behind him in the 14th round.
You
So
can trade him
I
away.
can only keep one keeper.
Trade
though.
Jefferson away. Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna.
You can get like 2 solid players for Jefferson right now.
So what you're saying is I should keep him and pull him in and then trade him immediately
After he
for the
does
season.
well again, yes.
Yeah, I hope so.
Similar like Amari Cooper is probably gonna be a show off year for him, but we'll get to that.
All right. Are those receivers? We're not talking about receivers.
Whoops.
We're talking about running backs.
Here we go again.
Running backs, guys. Running backs. All right. So Antonio Gibson, Montgomery, sitting at 11 and 12. Do we swap them or we keep them? again, I just don't think Antonio Gibson is going to get the type of run you think he is. Last year, on average, 65% of snaps. He never got any higher than that. And then I worry about the coach coming out saying, hey, this guy's a 1,000-yard running back and a 50-catch guy. So what he's saying is he thinks that's the peak. He thinks that's it. So if he only gets 1,000 yards and 50 catches,
I can see him 11, 12.
That's a middle-of-the-road RB2 that, I mean, at the start of the season, once everybody starts getting injuries.
You're getting like what, round 5?
Oh,
6?
Gibson?
Yeah.
Oh, he's going in second round.
Gibson?
Oh, yes.
No.
Yeah, I'm way off.
All right, yeah, no.
That's what, again,
but
and we
that still means we should take him above Montgomery, though, right?
No. And I think that's why I'm so high on Montgomery is his 80. And we try not to play the 80
high in
battle
our
in
rankings.
there,
Yeah, I still think
with
he's
Gibson
gonna be a better
going
player.
where he's going, I've seen him go as high as 9th overall. And that's rough to watch.
That is rough. And it's all that the receptions
if you
are going to go up.
Yeah, if you guys watched my mock draft from the other night, we did a
We can
regular
leave
mock
there.
draft. Took 9th overall or 10th overall. I think 10th overall. And then they came back around and took McLaurin in the third.
Sauce. Yeah.
And I was just like, hey, man, that's not a high-octane offense as much as you think it is. So you might want to stay off all the Redskins.
Fitz is getting up there in age. I mean, he's going to throw some in there where he shouldn't. But
McLaurin will thrive. I do think so.
His efficiency is up there like A.J. Brown.
But if they score an average like 2 to 3 touchdowns a game, I mean, can you guarantee that 2 of those touchdowns are going to your guys? Probably not.
Maybe.
Again,
I know Gibson will be getting all the goal line work there, same as Montgomery. But if we leave Montgomery there, where does that put him?
At 11.
That's fine. We can go Montgomery, Gibson.
And then I have Barkley right behind them because of the pup list.
So here's the question. Is Barkley's efficiency when he comes back going to be worth the guaranteed efficiency a healthy Henderson is going to give you early in that Rams offense?
Yeah.
While he's healthy.
And then they got Booker.
For me, I'm going Henderson.
Yeah, over him. Okay.
Over a Barkley, and then we can pay Barkley, but you got to have Henderson and give him the man of his respect. That offensive line.
You just pulled out the Henderson. I wasn't even ready to talk about him.
Henderson, man, he's got to go here.
Okay, so we're talking about Akers.
But if you put Harris, from Pitt there, Harris is just coming in. Everyone's so big on him. I think it's going to be CEH all over again, just with the worst offensive line that they're going into.
Yeah.
Maybe he's
so
a better pure running back.
I got to actually find Henderson, and I don't know how. There he is, Daryl Henderson.
Even if they pick somebody up, I think he's running back 2 status. If they pick up a prominent runner, he might fall to a flex. And if he, if he can finish the season, he's.
So you want Henderson right here, right around 13.
He knows that. Yeah, he knows that system. He's a veteran there.
This is what I got with Henderson. So last year it was Akers, Henderson, and Malcolm Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm Brown gone.
Okay.
But they still have a couple of these younger rookie running backs that they have in the folds.
I mean, all those guys.
It doesn't look like they're going to pick up anybody else to run with them. So that's hot right there. So you look at the numbers last year. Akers with 625 yards rushing. You got Henderson with 624 yards rushing.
And he's capable of getting double-digit carries.
And you bump that up.
Yeah.
So what is that? That's 1,250 yards in 16 games if they played them all. Okay, so add 17 games.
Imagine if he plays them all.
If Henderson plays them all, I'm looking at a 1,500-yard rush.
Last year's Montgomery right there.
Yeah.
Strength of schedule. I mean, hell. I don't even know. You have to talk about something while I look this up.
The only problem I got while he looks that up is you're looking at they do not pass, or at least the Rams do not pass to Henderson or Akers as much as you think they do. Last year they combined for 27 catches together.
True.
Together.
But that's Stafford not at the helm.
Exactly, and that's what I was getting at. So Stafford, he likes to dump off to his running backs. He does not try to take sacks because obviously he's also getting up there in age. He's not going to just run around the pocket. He's going to dump off to Henderson.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But
my counter to that would be their upper average strength of schedule total, which bodes well for goal line work.
Yeah, I mean we're putting it at right now. So what we're saying is right now, Henderson has nobody really coming up his backside to take him out of the spot or even spell him.
Unless we come up with something during the preseason or he gets hurt. I haven't even heard him being limited in preseason and during training camp. So.
3 years ago, Henderson was drafted in the 3rd round, picked 70 overall.
I remember getting tarnished by him just so many times, just in a random matchup.
Yeah.
Week 6, I got to get it to get in the playoffs, and he drops 22.
Yeah, and think about this. Akers behind him picked in the 2nd round, 52nd overall.
Right,
I think they're not. I guess how the draft value is there. So it's not like they picked Henderson up in the 6th, 7th round.
And
they actually wanted him to play.
With that rank, you can even wait and pick him up later.
I think last year with the Akers pickup, the draft, it was like, holy crap, he's still fucking here. Like, just take him.
And even with Akers there most of the year, during Akers' dominance during the end of the year, Henderson was still getting work.
Yeah.
But he was hurt. But
So
is he not?
I actually had Henderson sitting right around 15, so we bumped him up to 13. I think that's a good spot.
Okay.
Barkley right behind him. I'm going to leave him there.
That's fine. We
So-
got to have him up there.
The next one is Najee Harris.
Yeah. I
which
guess
both of us,
Yeah, I'm not real big on him.
I am way down on him. So we're going to talk about him later. He still will be in our top 24, but we just can't talk about him now. I'm going to start moving him down again. A lot of this stuff is live. We fly by the seat of our pants. We do. It's not scripted. It's all done just by what we have up in our heads and what's going on here. So again, thanks for tuning in. If you like what you're hearing right now, we're Sin City Fantasy. Like, share, subscribe, comment, everything. Make sure you hit that notification bell to never miss an episode, because honestly, our shows we get them in when we can. We
don't do the random 4 days a week just talking about random guys and why they're the next best thing, and just picking another random guy and explaining why this guy's the next best
we try
guy.
to get the best content we can in the time we have. So
next we got to do we
Go
didn't
ahead.
talk about Carson yet?
Carson is our next guy.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, he might even be undervalued as hell too.
He's super undervalued. I'm going to move him up to 15th,
Where's
and
he at,
honestly,
strength of schedule?
I have Carson on my list at 13. So
He always has a hard strength of schedule, and he's 26 now. It's not really a change though. He's such a hard runner.
I just don't think. I think last year you saw that Rashad Penny
I actually think it's a good spot.
wasn't part of what they were doing there. I mean, they think he is, but he's not. And you saw when he was healthy, he actually picked up a lot of catches.
He's
His
like a dark
targets
horse
were
Mixon
up.
type player. I mean, he's
4 years ago and 3 years ago he had
might
a
be.
small amount of catches and targets. Last year, it skyrocketed.
I hate putting him this low. I really do. I mean, he's kind of.
Sorry, I got a couple beer,
Oh, you're good.
couple Bud
Rush
Lights
yards per
going on
game
back
though,
here.
the whole team I think was almost top 10. I think they were top 12. But then the offensive line average, they're kind of harsh on the offensive line. I think they have a few aging players, but if that offensive line can rebound and even pick it up from their last year's deficit, I think they were 20th. 20th. Exactly 20th. Oh no.
All
I
right.
dropped my mic live.
Oh,
But
no.
yeah, if that offensive line gets anywhere in the top 15, that average for Carson's just going to skyrocket. And he's another player capable of getting 22 carries a game and just banking a game at the end of the. I think they dominated Cincinnati last year.
Yeah.
Which is Carson. So.
Yeah, I mean I feel like the only thing that Carson has against him right now, one, strength of schedule a little bit, but he's used to that. They're all used to that. They'll
That's
figure
why
out
he's
a
been
way
injured, I
around.
think.
But then
it
yeah,
always
and then the
correlates.
injuries,
Strength of
and then
schedule
injuries.
and that's Barkley's MO.
And I think that's why we have him at 15.
That's what I've noticed every year.
Unfortunately, the injury sets in. So I think when he's playing, he's a RB1. When he's not playing, obviously he's shit. He can't do nothing.
All right, so I think this is where we're going to start to go.
Oh no, my next guy. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not going to
We're
go
not.
back.
I knew we were.
Offensive line 7th, rush yards per game 16th.
Points per game is up
Paul-
there.
well, points
I
per
always
game,
I always
yeah.
throw that in there.
I mean,
high-powered
sure.
offense.
Why
you can
not?
score
Yeah,
in
he's
there.
always going to be prominent to get a reception touchdown in the red zone. Yeah, he's got to be here. I like him above Harris, but
Yeah.
that's me.
Yeah, Najee Harris.
We can go
keeps going
we can
down.
go CEH and Najee because I think they're both yin,
Oh, no.
yin and yang.
No,
No?
not at all. My next guy on the list, and
I mean,
Is
remember,
actually-
Najee is going to get some work in the goal line. It's not
I know,
not until they take a shit
but
on
they
him.
gotta get there.
Can't take a shit on him, man.
Claypool took what
Draft
4
pick,
touchdowns.
draft
Claypool
pick.
took 4 touchdowns away from Connor last year.
All right, so
Remember that?
who do you have?
I have Miles Sanders.
No. No. Yeah, shit.
Miles Sanders, man.
Yeah, with what? 22 for 60 and a touchdown every game?
Hey, that was with Wentz.
That ain't gonna
was
matter
with-
shit. Now
That
it's
was
worse.
with Wentz. No, his
Wentz
game.
is
His
fine.
game
It's their
went.
offensive line's pissed. What's their offensive line? I bet it's
Nah.
dog shit. Let's look it up.
Guys,
Take
Miles
our-
Sanders with
No.
Jalen Hurts had a
I didn't
heck
even
of a
rank
year.
them.
I can't stat
They're
him
28th.
out
I didn't
with
even
Hurts
rank 'em.
because he didn't have enough games.
Do not draft Miles fucking Sanders.
Draft Miles Sanders.
If you want to get,
where he's going.
if you want to get 2 games of 30 for
do not reach
40 yards
here.
or 2 touchdowns.
Can we say this?
First half of the season, it takes a poop.
Do not reach for Miles Sanders.
Don't even draft him at his ADP. Value only.
Yeah,
Value only.
He may fall.
You're putting Harris above Miles Sanders right now.
Yeah.
You're doing it. I ain't letting you do it. Do it right now, and you're putting Gaskin above him too. What are we doing here?
Yeah, Gaskin goes.
I got
up there, too.
Gaskin, I got Davis, I got Edmonds, I got Melvin Gordon and Williams all above this motherfucker.
All
You're
right.
about to pull in here at fucking.
So we gotta. It's
Fuck!
again. It's a mix.
No!
We're a mix right now. So eventually, when we're done with these players, and this is what I had. I actually have like.
What's his strength of
I
schedule?
have like a little parentheses around all 5 of these guys.
It's like average.
So what
You
I'm
got
saying
lucky.
is, I knew that
You still got the
we
other
would
guy
have to
there.
wait
Who's
till the
other
show.
guy? Scott. They're big on Scott. They love Scott.
I don't think they
I'm off the Miles Sanders train. I got bit
get
by
the fuck out of here.
No.
All right, so
Scott.
Josh Jacobs, I have in here too.
I'm-
So again, I got. I'll name off the 5 guys
I
I
got
got.
him. I got
I got
30.
Dobbins. I got Sanders, Jacobs, Harris, and Gaskins. So all 5 of those guys, I really have kind of floating around. And
Take
again,
that list for me and flop it.
I like Gaskins above
Yeah, Gaskins. I got
Najee
him-
Harris.
I got him. Yeah, I got him.
So we'll take him. They have him at 25. We'll move him up to 18.
You fucking move him above Sanders.
We'll move him up about 18.
Gaskin's so sexy they didn't even draft him motherfucker.
All right, so we'll.
They said, no, Gaskin.
What I can do.
Where's he at? Look his ass up. 5th. Strength of
have-
schedule's 5th.
so I
That's your he's
so
top
I
10.
have-
Top 10 right there.
I have Carson.
Hot take. Lukewarm take. Top 10 Gaskin.
I like it.
Top 10 Gaskin.
After all the injuries,
Yes.
he'll be up there.
Mm.
So I got
No.
Carson.
I see what you did there.
Carson, Allaire,
Okay.
Gaskins, Sanders, Dobbins, Jacobs, Harris.
Oh.
All right. But those we're gonna mess with them. So this is where we're gonna kind of slow it down. We've been going through it so quick.
Okay.
All right, a guy like.
Where are we at, by the way, now? After what number is that?
all
I
right,
know you
so
all can see
we're
it.
at 7. We're at 17.
Okay.
17. Then at 18, we're picking between Sanders, Dobbins, Jacobs, and Harris.
I like Ronald Jones.
I love Ronald Jones.
Man, I like that just because you brought him up. But hell, if you're gonna throw him in there, rush yards per game last year was 28th. I think that's definitely gonna go up because hell, they were a wild card team last year. Let's not forget that. And I think Godwin's gonna bounce back. But primarily here, Tampa Bay has got a pretty nice schedule.
Nice easy schedule right after a Super Bowl victory.
Shit,
Yeah,
they
gave
him a
him
nice easy
easy.
schedule. The running schedule though is pretty low, but I think goal line work will make up for that. I think the Bernard signing is just a camp body, and Fournette, even though he may or may not health wise, I think he's just made for playoffs, and that's why he's there. End of the year, maybe closing out games. I think Ronald Jones. They like Ronald Jones. Brady likes Ronald Jones. That's all that really matters. I can dig him above Dobbins, even though it's the most running back heavy team. I'm not ready to draft Dobbins as a running back too, which is kind of still where we're at, I think.
Yeah,
In that range.
my problem with Dobbins right now, I looked at it. He does not get any run in the passing game. He's strictly running.
And then you're worried about Gus and
Yeah.
Lamar, who I think is going to bounce back. I just get more of a pure running, isolated statistical value from Ronald Jones.
Yeah. All right. So we have Ronald Jones right now sitting at 18th. I have him at 20th because I had.
That's fine. I had him on 16th.
Trying to look it up.
Their offensive line is ranked 4th.
I had Sanders in front of
They
him.
have a dominant offensive line. They're
So-
4th in the NFL.
Yeah. So I had Sanders in front of him. We're
Just don't-
switching Sanders and
Just don't
Ronald
go
Jones.
I mean, Fournette, if he blows up, let the guy who...
He's gonna have his game. It's gonna
Sure,
happen.
let that happen. I'm not even worried about him.
All right. So after Sanders, I got Dobbins. Again, we talk about Dobbins. He's
No.
gonna get his 1,000 yards.
I'll draft Gordon before Dobbins.
You'll draft Gordon before Dobbins. Melvin.
I will.
Sorry, we're all hiccuping here. It's,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a long day.
I'll draft
I'm only on beer 5. I'm sorry, guys.
Melvin, for me, strength of schedule, whoever takes over that backfield is going to be dominant.
Yeah.
Second overall with my official rankings. Strength of schedule plus offensive line from all that.
What
we
about-
talked about last? But yeah,
What about?
you're drafting Javante if you go with him. So either one.
Yeah,
Just that backfield as a whole, you want a piece of that
Yeah.
this year. So.
but we're not. When we're talking about that, when you draft a Melvin Gordon, do you want the
No.
Javonte Williams?
Yeah. When you
So
draft,
when
you,
we're
no matter
ranking
what.
these guys, I don't
Yes.
want to rank them together. I
No,
want to rank them.
No, I'm going
apart.
pure value, and I'm
this is
talking
where-
if there's no injuries and no takeover.
This is where I gotta pull the me card because hey, it's me. It's me, Tim. That was my first tagline. Like, hey guys, it's me, Tim. Like, hey, it's me, Tim.
It was.
Hey, Josh Jacobs has not been put in here yet. Josh Jacobs,
As well as he should not.
and I think
No.
last year finishing as the 8th overall running
Davis
back.
over Jacobs.
He had over 200. He was the top 3 or top 4 in attempts last year.
Okay.
Do you think they brought in Kenyon Drake to take away all his attempts? No,
Yes.
they're filling in the spot.
Yes, I did.
They're filling in the spot of Booker and DeAndre Washington from previous years and all the other guys. They always bring in somebody to fill in just a little bit so that he can get his rest.
He's got like the second worst
Kenyon
schedule in football.
That's why he's down at 20.
So the
finishing-
average is going to be even worse than it was last year. He's got Drake there now, which he didn't have last year.
Drake is
The other
complete
Richard's
dog
still
shit.
fucking there. Who I don't care how dog shit he is. They brought him in and paid him fucking money. That means he's getting work because they're not going to give him free fucking money. That's all it boils down to. I'm drafting Davis before him. I'm drafting Evans before him. I'm drafting Coleman before him. I'm drafting Swift before him. I'm drafting.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the problem, and I know why. Is because
Most
finally
like-
you're figuring out about
Maybe.
ADP.
Jacobs
Jacobs is going in the 5th round in 10-man leagues, so he's
redundant.
going in the 4th
Yeah.
round in 12-man leagues, late 4th. Yeah, I wouldn't take him in the
Draft
late
Hunt
4th.
before Jacobs.
I would do that. Speaking of Hunt, I looked at some of the stats, and I'm looking at
Put him there right now.
I
over
really,
Jacobs.
I
Let's
gotta
do
find
that.
him. You better start talking about Hunt then, because
I got
right
nothing.
now,
I got nothing.
Hunt
I have
is
no idea. I'm a Browns fan.
down
I think
at
they're
30.
gonna. I think so. You know what I think, being a Browns fan. I think they're all gonna go '90s Bulls. Like everyone's reduced to a role.
Yeah.
So he might get prominent, and Hunt's pure value now would just be on Chubb's health.
Yeah, last year Hunt
I
finished
don't-
10th
he's
overall.
not- yeah, no.
PPR.
I don't
half-point
see that
PPR.
happen again. If it does, cool.
Well, we have him right
I'm
now.
not gonna complain being a Browns fan.
We have him right now at 20.
I have his value over Jacobs. I'll do that.
Yeah. We
And
have
I
him right
still
now
got them both,
at
I got them
21.
both below Edmonds, Davis,
Yeah.
Gordon. We still haven't talked about Coleman, who is very good strength of schedule wise this year as well.
Tevin Coleman.
Yeah.
If we knew he was starting, I would put him up here.
Sure, yeah.
I think that's the problem right
Yeah.
now. As we
That's
get
why we're
closer to the
still- yeah.
season, we can constantly be changing this, and
But
we'll
if he
keep
plays
this.
and starts, he's a guy that gets 22 touches a game in
Yeah.
San Fran. So we know he's capable.
Yeah.
Whether or not he does that in that shitty ass offense.
All right, Najee Harris. Why is he ranked so low on both of our lists right now? Sitting at
It's-
23, he could possibly go up to 22, above Josh Jacobs, possibly go up in front of Kareem Hunt.
So he's going in round 3.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest problem with him.
That's in round 2. By time he gets,
He's
down
going
there,
in late round 2.
He's gonna go round 2 in your league. I promise you.
Mhm.
I just not.
I just stay away.
The offensive line is 25th, I think.
Strength of schedule.
32nd. I'm sorry.
They're the worst.
Strength of schedule and offensive line are both 32nd.
Yeah. It's going to be the hardest road.
Not worth a 3rd round pick.
It was the same as last year for
Sure, yeah.
James Conner, and you saw what
his,
happened to
his
that.
risk of injury goes up because he isn't used to that workload in NFL. He's still got to make it through training camp.
And you see with these rookies, a lot of times they get into like week 11, and then it's just tails off. They're not
Sure.
used to this many games, this much
I mean,
work.
Taylor was a good exception, but Taylor stumbled.
Well, Taylor started slow. They didn't use him very
And he
much
got
in the beginning of the season. And
Yeah.
then he got hurt, and then he came back, and then he rocketed.
Very few coaches love, besides like Andy Reid.
Yeah.
But even Reid made CEH earn a stretch.
How's this affect
Yeah,
Marlon
that's it.
Mack is what everybody wants to know.
What about Hines? But yeah,
Hines, I
I
got
mean,
is
Marlon Mack and Hines are still there.
undraftable this year. Undraftable.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
I'm
I
not
feel bad. Again, thanks for tuning in to Sin City Fantasy. If you're just jumping on right now,
Yeah.
yeah, we're about halfway, about almost done with the old running back rankings. The first show, unfortunately, went a little haywire. We got it all fixed. So, again, thanks for tuning in and coming back to us. Jaryd's here tonight. Hopefully have Rogers here tomorrow for
That'd
a
be
little
Yeah.
draft show, a little draft lesson in what to do, what not to do, but mainly the what not to do is going to be on there.
So where are we at?
Right now,
I lost track again.
We
I can't
got-
see the list.
19 Sanders, 20 Dobbins, 21 Hunt, 22 Jacobs, 23 Harris. To finish off, I think it was the 24 and 25 is pretty simple. Well, 24 is easily DeAndre Swift. We've kind of totally jumped.
Yeah, I'm putting Gaskin over Swift.
Gaskins is way up there. He's at 17.
Okay.
Sorry, Gaskins long. So we got
Yeah,
DeAndre
okay.
Swift at 24.
No, Gordon. Did you pick Gordon on there?
I did not touch Gordon.
I'm
I
putting
am
Gordon
not
over Swift.
touching Gordon.
I'm putting Gordon over Swift.
Let's see if I can find
Just
him.
based on early, because he's going to get, look, so you get Gordon, maybe week 5, 6, Javonte. I don't think Javonte's going to come out just dominating.
Yeah, but to get those guys, you got to draft 2. And we're just talking about
That's
single
fine.
running
You draft-
backs.
Well,
Like guys that will be throughout the season. I just don't see.
Sir Emerald Swift has the worst strength of schedule in football.
Yeah.
And
that's
he's
why.
still sharing touches with 3 other running
And that's why I think he'll be okay. Well, a lot of these guys are sharing touches.
He'll be
What about
okay
Mike?
with golf?
What about Mike Davis?
He's going to be okay with golf.
What about a guy like Mike Davis?
How many receptions did Henderson get with golf?
Henderson
for 2
got
straight years?
16 in the first one.
16-ish, my asshole. No. I mean, you can put Swift there if you want. It's your show, brother.
No, it's fine. Mike Davis. What about a guy like Mike Davis?
I'm going to do Mike Davis right there.
Mike Davis
Yeah.
has nobody coming up from behind.
He's just,
got a decent schedule.
sure.
Decent. Their line
Is the schedule
is
decent?
way
It
down. But
it is decent. Their offensive line, though, is. But again, that's why we're here.
yeah,
I would put Mike Davis there above Swift, and then you can put Swift there. But then we're definitely putting Gordon.
and that's what we
I'm
got.
telling you, that backfield and his usage. If by week 4 or 5 you don't like him, trade him away. I'm
Yeah.
sure he'll have a few more games by the time that schedule wears off.
All right, so going through the list, I'm gonna try to get it up for everybody. We're gonna start with 1. We'll go down
Then
to.
I got a nice one next that we talked about it earlier.
We'll go through Jared's late round guys. I got a couple
Yeah,
more.
we're getting into it right here.
So
And just be clear, I'm drafting all of these guys before round 10 if I can.
1 through 24.
If I can, all of them.
One
All
through,
30 of them we're about to talk about. We're
one,
not going to 30.
1 through 24. We're gonna go through real quick. We got McCaffrey, Kamara, Cook, Henry, and Elliott top 5. Then we got Taylor, Chubb, Jones, Mixon, and Eckler 5 through 10. After that, we got Montgomery, Gibson, Henderson, Barkley, and Carson through 15.
Yes.
Allaire, Gaskin, Jones, Ronald Jones,
Ah,
ladies and gentlemen.
I love it.
Please
Yes.
do not hate on that until we see what happens, because I promise you that's going to be the one everybody's going to be like, fuck Ronald
What the fuck
Jones.
you doing,
Yeah,
man?
the fuck you doing? Okay, and then Sanders and Dobbins through 20.
Yeah.
21 through 24. Hunt, Jacobs, Najee Harris, and Mike Davis. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I hate Najee Harris's strength of schedule.
You
I
said
hate-
Dobbins?
Dobbins is in there
Okay.
at 20.
Okay.
I like just high octane offense. They got a good
I
offensive
just have
line.
2 or 3 guys that I might. We're talking about, but
Yeah. We'll get in there. So to move on to the next
just
segment.
based on that team's rushing, you got to have them somewhere in the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah. Again, if you guys want to, screenshot this. Anything after 25 is kind of hit or miss
Now
right
we're
now.
working on flex with running back 2 upside. range right now.
We'll hit there. So I'm gonna get us into our main screen again. Again, thanks for tuning in. This is Sin City Fantasy. One more beer will help.
Always
Again,
helps.
I love drink. Again, fantasy football is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be like all uptight. You drink, you have fun. But one thing you don't do: get horrendously drunk at the draft
Yeah.
and expect to have a good
I
draft
think we
the next
both
morning.
made that mistake.
We've been there before. Me with drinking, you with smoking, and then that one
Did
time
that go chief?
I did both with yours, and I don't remember rounds
what?
like 6
You
through
mixed
13.
the nicotine with the alcohol.
I mixed everything. It was fun. And you know what the funny thing is? I came in second that year. I had a pretty decent year. That was
Yeah, you always say that, and then it never
hey,
happened again.
money. That's all that matters, I guess. But I still had fun. But again, going into the next part,
Here we go.
again, James who? James who?
Ah,
Who you taking?
Yes.
James Robinson or James Conner?
Mm.
And we are going to be going off ADP. So James
So
Robinson's
ADP.
ADP is 72 right now.
Okay.
James Conner 95. So we got to take that into account. I mean, what are you thinking?
I guess it's. Do you think receptions possible? Because Robinson James is going to lose receptions to ETN on. You think he is, but at the same time, I don't think they're just going to give all that work to ETN. I know draft capital's a thing, but it's not like he was the number 1 overall pick. So James Robinson is actually a possible dark horse again in drafts. If he gets even 10 receptions a game plus 10 carries a game, it's pretty good smooth sailing right there for round what?
Yeah.
Pick,
8.
insert, 8, 9 picks.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like James Robinson. I think think there's no way he doesn't get the same workload of carries.
Plus, he's supposed to be getting goal line work.
Yeah.
So then you think Connor's going to be losing, receptions, so his value is in goal line. Even though Connor was hurt last year, people were down on him. He's got value. That I guess really comes down to strength of schedule, which Connor lacks in as well again this year, unfortunately.
I'll put it like this: if I'm going to grab somebody
James Robinson
in deeper leagues,
I'd
so
feel
let's
good
say I
about
do
it,
let's say I get into like one of those 14-man leagues.
Yeah.
And I do like a 0 RB. These are running backs that I am definitely looking at.
Yeah.
I want to jump on.
high upside,
Super upside.
Still a little bit of floor.
Yeah. 10-man leagues, I don't think I'll need them, but if they're there and the value's there, and let's say Robinson drops down like to the 9th round,
Sure.
I'm gonna take him.
Yeah.
I mean, 1,000-yard running back.
I know guys
in the 9th round.
I know guys in my work league that are going to take him in round 5, 4.
Yeah. So so if he goes in round 5, so good riddance.
If he gets reached on, that's fine. But if he's there, nope. If he's there after, I'd say feel comfortable after round 7.
Yeah, so I'd stick with Robinson over between Connor. So
Yeah.
you're with Connor, or I'm with Robinson.
I'm good with Connor.
We're both good with both of them.
Yeah, it's just where. I mean, at this point of
You
the
have to
draft,
pick one,
but if
though.
you're picking
That's the
one,
whole
it's
point. You
Robinson
have to-
over Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking Robinson.
But at their ADP, Connor. He's later, right?
He is. He's
I guess I would
23 on average, 23 picks later.
Where's he at? Okay. Edmonds Connor. Yeah, the way he's going to be using that goal line offense, though.
I guess put it like this: who do you expect to get to the goal line more, the Cardinals or the Jags?
I think the Cardinals more higher octanes. That's why I'll lean Connor.
All right, final. Hey, if you got to pick one of these guys, Robinson or Carter, take
Let's
the
not
James.
forget, James
Connor. Take the Carter.
Robinson came out late. He wasn't even drafted, so let's not
Yeah.
forget. They got a good look at him. He burst on the scene, then kind of petered out a little bit. So
I think it's a Akers and Henderson type situation where Henderson they got a good value at 3rd round, but then they saw Akers in the 2nd round. They're like, shit, might as well take him. So the Jags, they got a good running back, and they get to ETN in the
Jags
second round. They're like, oh, you know what? Might as well take him.
and they got a lot to figure out right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not really leaning. I can't really choose.
So
a player
Connor,
like that, yeah.
Connor in the 10th round on average in a 10-man
Too much
league.
value. Yeah.
I'd
Although
hate to leave him out
Edmonds,
there.
I got Edmonds up here at 21,
Edmonds going a lot higher.
just because he's going to
In
get
the
the
draft.
receptions in that offense.
Yeah. Would you want them both though?
Sure, because you're going to get Edmonds for free at that point. I would suggest taking them both, and just because if one goes down, you have that. That's going to be massive, especially in that It's a high octane offense, guys. Arizona here, strength of schedule for Arizona is pretty high end average. Which once you get to the high end average yellow I guess teams.
It's-
I think 2 years ago, Aaron Rodgers was in yellow. He dropped 40. So once you get it into the red, then you start getting more prominent with injuries, or in the super green, super blue. But that average is just relying on the player and the team, and there's no doubt about it. They solidified themselves. Arizona is up there, so don't be afraid to draft those two and get the value for both those players. Again, same with Gordon and Williams.
Well,
Yeah, Gordon
I knew he was going to do it. Going
Come on!
into our next
Number 2.
Going into our next segment called NFL Jams. Picking 2 guys that are on the same team together, the rookie edition. Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon.
Yes.
Would you take both of those guys?
Yes.
And we got 3 groups of guys. So this is the last segment. So guys, thanks for sticking with us this entire way. You're either going to pick out of these 3 teams in these 3 groups. You got Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon.
Okay.
You got Raheem Mostert, Trey Sermon, and then you got Michael Carter and Tevin Coleman. And the ADPs do play a factor too.
Okay.
So I do have their ADPs if you want to know them. Williams and Gordon, 72 and 68. So they're going right next to each other. It's going to be really hard to get them unless you're on the ends. So if you're at pick 9 or 10, you could get like Gordon and then come on the wrap and get yourself a
So
Williams,
nine or
which we've
10.
done this before
Okay.
and we've talked about in the past. So
Yeah, we have. So
and it's worked
9,
out.
10 Gordon Williams. What about Mostert Sermon?
Mostert Sermon, 69 for Mostert, 91 for Sermon.
So you're looking at a little bit later, 10, 11. Okay.
It's about a 2-round difference between them.
They're pretty solid. San Fran's going to want to look to run the ball, and whoever emerges there will win you your league.
Yeah.
So I'd say that has slightly higher value, but I just can't, man. I can't go against my own strength of schedules. But strength of schedule. How much is 3 worth? San Fran's 7th overall on my list, and Denver's 2nd.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go with Denver.
Right now. What about Michael Carter?
Javonte Williams is just too sexy right now.
Yeah.
For me, he's a pure runner. I've watched him run a couple of his films. He cuts hard and goes straight in.
But here's the problem.
He's like a big Coleman.
It's hard to get Williams and Gordon, and that's the biggest thing. So you're going to be giving up probably
your
your 6th round and your 7th round.
Who are you drafting then? Are you waiting on quarterback then? If so, you can wait a little bit longer to get Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's doable, and you got to mold your draft around that. For me, I'm targeting them.
Yeah. I know we've tried this before with
But
like a Chubb and Hunt.
by that time, I'll have 3 running backs drafted.
Yeah.
Then I'll have receiver, maybe tight end, quarterback, and then I'll just double back with these 2. And those would be the rest of the running backs I draft. I'll have 5. That's usually how people. How many you end up with? 4 or 5,
I normally try to end up with about over 5.
Hell yeah! So there you go. That'd be 5. You draft your first 3 running backs, come back, take these 2 as your,
The only time I don't get 5
possible
running
flex
backs.
running back 2 as a flex. Eek.
The only time I don't get 5 running backs is when I actually smoke too much.
I think that one year I had like 8 or 7. I didn't do
bad.
bad.
You can't have enough running backs.
And then you
guys.
trade a few away. I mean, hell,
Yeah.
guys. But you're right. The San Fran running backs, that strength of schedule is looking pretty good. They're in the blue. They're ranked 7th here for me.
So throwing in the last duet.
Yes.
Michael Carter and Tevin Coleman.
I'm good on these guys too.
I love their ADPs.
I'm really good on Coleman.
Carter, you're getting at 100, so he's looking right there at the beginning of the 10th round of 10 man.
Just as easily as Sherman, but people actually call him the better runner.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, just all the people I've watched, they actually watch the training camps.
Yeah.
Like New York guys, you know what I'm saying?
Tevin Coleman is free, basically.
It's Tevin Coleman, and again, he was getting 22 carries for whatever 2 touchdowns. 22 for like 60 and 2 touchdowns is really doable in an offense like that. And that's what, 17 points, 15. Strength of schedule, they're 4th, right under Cleveland. All 3 of these guys right here, no matter which one you choose, where's their ADP?
We got 100 for Carter and 158
Yeah, so if you want to go the value route, if you want to maybe draft 1 or 2 running backs, go wide receiver heavy, tight end, quarterback, or whatever you want to do, and then get the super value, the Jets running backs are probably going to.
The problem is the Jets have sucked at running for the past 5 to 6 years. So
truth, but this year, we'll find out if it's really the case because they're top 5 in total SOS.
Yeah. Alrighty, well that's the show. Again, thanks for tuning in to Sin City Fantasy. Again, we got a couple shows coming up in this week. I go on vacation here next weekend, so we will have a week off.
So we're doing receivers next?
Receivers will be next. So
Woo!
I can't wait. Again, thanks for tuning in to Sin City Fantasy. My name's Tim. On my left is